Welcome to D-Tycoon, Community Unity Now. And we have with us, again, she was with us last week, and Trudy, our co-host, interviewed her about the Missing Persons Registry, is Mandy M. Sark. How you doing, Mandy?
How are you? Nice to see you again.
Absolutely. Nice to see you again. Yes. I'm glad to be here this time. Trudy's on the control board, and we want to thank Catherine Brown D-Tycoon. This is her show that she lent to us because when I was running for alderman, she was running for mayor. We both became write-in candidates, and we really hit it off and became great friends. Right. So this is our second set of 12 episodes.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Great. So what inspired you to address the issue of the Missing Persons Registry?
Well, mainly I was inspired by this affecting me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very personal situation in which I found myself kind of going through the system of looking through the registries myself and learning about locating missing people in general. And it inspired me to help others.
And I think the real question is, why do you feel missing registries, persons registries are important?
Well, they're absolutely important because they help document everyone that is missing so that you're aware that they are missing, have their full details, have a very full and accurate description of who to look out for and where. And they put, a face to that information so that you can find them as soon as possible.
And so it's not an ideal situation right now. Tell me what's not ideal about the current Chicago Missing Persons Registry.
Sure. So the most important is that we need to have a Chicago Missing Persons Registry, an official one. According to my research, I did not find one. If there is one, which I'm not aware of, it's obviously not easy to find and easy to locate. And the registries that are in place are very underutilized. They also are not updated with current information in a timely manner.
So maybe, for example, there were people who were found that are still in the registry, and there are people who are lost that aren't on the registry. And and there's maybe some information that's not correct.
Absolutely.
And is the current missing persons registry available for the public viewing?
Yes, there are several. The most important or the most significant one in the nation is NamUs. It's NAM and then US. It's the National Registry for Missing Persons. One of the best I've encountered, but still needing to be updated severely.
Is that online? Is that what it is?
It is online.
Okay.
Yes, and I believe those cases have to be at least 90 days old to be in the registry. That at least is my understanding.
And that was my next question.
Sure.
How long does a person have to be missing? Should they be put into the registry?
Right. It probably varies by registry type and which registry, but the National Registry, I believe it is 90 days, at least according to my research and my understanding.
And the Missing Persons Registry, it's for people to look, to see if they recognize people. Is it also in use by the police department and the government as well?
It should very well be used that way. There is another website, which is a Chicago website called ClearMap, and that's a police website mainly for crime. It does not have information about missing persons on it from what I can tell. And, in the research, I did not come across anything like that. But that would be a wonderful thing to be used in that way.
And statistically, maybe you don't know the actual numbers, but in general, how many people are found? Are people found with a missing is it effective means to have people found?
I don't know the exact statistics of that. I mean, versus like them posted versus found.
Right.
The direct relation. I imagine there are some, but I don't think it's nearly as effective as getting out there, having our police detectives getting out there and actually looking for people.
All right. We have, so we met in October.
Yes.
We met in October, and it was really great. It was at City Hall, and we did a press conference for a new and improved, or a more accurate, a more up-to-date Chicago missing persons registry. We're at City Hall, and it was great. And you were there. David Earl Williams III was there, and I've worked with him a lot. Karen Phillips, Theo Hardiman. I got to work with him again, which was really great. Laurel and the triplets.
Yes.
The three kids, triplets.
Absolutely.
That was a lot of fun. And then Edward Williams. I've worked with him too in the past. He's part of David's team.
Wonderful.
And I was there as well. And we're very fortunate that local channel Fox News covered it, and we got it on the news and online, and we were able to share.
Yes.
And really get the word out.
Absolutely.
And to educate people as to what a missing persons registry, a Chicago one or a statewide one, should be. So you've sent letters to Mayor Lightfoot and Governor Pritzker.
Yes.
And
To both of them, yes.
and can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I had written a letter to the mayor, and that was presented back in June via David Earl Williams III.
They're watching.
Sure. Hi.
They're watching. Hi,
Okay.
Mayor. Hi, Governor.
Hello. Hi.
So talk to them.
So I wrote this letter basically to kind of spell out the situation that there are people in our city and in our state that are not being documented as missing. There are people that are sitting in hospitals unidentified and unclaimed and not being documented, and this is not right.
Right.
I wrote some proposals of what I think could kind of remedy this situation, gave my contact information, and invited the mayor to please give me a call or message me, and we could sit down and discuss this and try to get this taken care of. I have not heard anything as of yet, but I personally need to follow up on that because I know obviously she's been extremely busy, and most of it has been via email. So I think a more personal approach
maybe
is
a
necessary at this point.
U.S. mail letter,
Yes.
and maybe also contacting the city councilman. That might be another
That's
good
a
way to do it.
great suggestion.
Yeah.
And then I did similar with the governor as well, because I'm also calling for extra funding for police detectives so that we can get people found. Because paper flyers, I have experience with that, with putting up tons and tons of flyers, and they are very outdated and not effective for the situation.
Okay, so there's also online. There's a lot of online resources. There's a Facebook page, Missing and Homeless. It's founded by Robin Wells Burton, who is missing her mother, Claudia
Leslie Wells.
Leslie Wells.
Yes.
And that's what I get for reading it instead of knowing it.
No, I appreciate you.
But she's missing her mother,
Yes.
and you're a part of that Facebook group.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So Missing and Homeless is a Facebook group to help the missing and the homeless. Not necessarily that the missing have to be homeless, but what is wonderful about that page is it raises awareness about how many homeless are actually being looked for by friends and family members, and it erases that stigma. The woman that is the founder, Robin Wells Burton, is fantastic. She's been a wonderful resource to me and emotional support. And she has been looking for her mother for years. And it's, again, Claudia. You can look it up online. Claudia, Cloudia, Leslie, Leslie, and Wells, Wells. There's a Facebook page with her profile and her specific missing person case. Sorry, that's emotional because it's her mother and she needs her home.
Right. Well, excellent. I'm glad that we're able to share
Thank
that
you.
one. So we were talking about all kinds of things at the press conference. What political allies does an upgrade of a missing person registry need? You wrote a letter to the mayor and the governor. What kind of political push are we going to need to make a positive change on the Chicago Missing Persons Registry?
Yes. Well, the first and foremost, I think we need people. We need everyday people to stand up for missing people in general and their families. That's what I'm doing. I'm not a politician. I'm not, a career activist. This is a passion of mine and something I want to do. And I encourage our viewers and the public to write the mayor, write the governor, write lobbyists that would be going to Springfield to possibly get laws changed. They can also contact Mr. David Earl Williams III, who I do want to point out has been fantastic in assisting me personally with this issue and advocating for people in the city of Chicago.
I've worked with David Earl Williams III on a bunch of projects, and he ran for alderman at the same time I ran for alderman in the ward right next door. So he's a real activist. He's a community activist. And the thing I like about David Earl Williams is even though he's not running for a public office at this moment, and even though he wasn't running for a public office before he was, he's always trying to help his community.
Yes.
And that's what it really is. He's always out there. He's always doing it. He's always helping somebody.
Yes.
And it's real. It's legitimate. It's not a gimmick to try to get elected or anything.
Right.
It's his lifestyle. And
I agree,
yeah.
and I thank him very much. I'm sure he may be watching, but I
he's
do
watching.
do thank him
He is watching.
very
Yeah.
much.
That's great. Okay, so how many are becoming missing in Chicago daily?
There were so many. As far as statistics, I apologize to look,
Okay.
but
Sure.
part of the problem is that not everyone is documented. So even the statistics that I have will not be 100% accurate because
Right.
there are so many people that are not documented. Like the Illinois Registry, if you type in Illinois missing persons, has about 12 to 14 people listed as adults missing in Illinois. As far as how many actually are, I apologize. It says, I'm kind of quoting some statistics from a website called Missing Person Awareness, and that's a Facebook page that's a non-for-profit organization. They are in need of funding, so that is a wonderful thing to support. And they went back through their profiles and they said, we went back to January 2019 on this page, and there were 52 people missing today that went missing in 2019. So out of that 52, 27 of them were children, and 19 or under, or I'm sorry, out of 52, 27 of those were children that were 19 or under. And 43 of those 52 are missing in Chicago, which is extremely important because out of 52 people missing in Illinois, just documented just on one Facebook page, 43 of those are in Chicago, yet we have no Chicago missing person registry.
I see the missing persons posters at some grocery stores.
Yes.
And like a whole bunch of them. And I see that there's a big effort. Are there any initiatives to document the undocumented missing persons? What else is there? Who else is working on this project?
Currently, from me just kind of researching who could help me with this situation, I've only encountered personal Facebook pages. And that's not even necessarily an initiative to document as much as to help locate, which is extremely important. That's the goal. That's the most important. But as far as the documentation, I don't see many people stepping up to the plate for that. Besides the initiatives that we're getting together, yourself included, and Mr. David Earl Williams III and myself trying to push.
I know
Registry.
on some other Facebook pages, we have a Rogers Park News group. And it's all about Rogers Park News. But people are posting missing people from Westridge and other places all throughout citywide on our Rogers Park page. And I keep those up because we don't know where these people are.
Right.
And all kinds of people are posting these missing people. So I think that there are a lot of people who are very interested in finding these missing people, especially the families and the relatives and the friends, but just other people who aren't included in that, all of that. They want to do what they can to help find the missing people.
Right, I absolutely agree. And if it's okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about paper flyers versus online. I think paper flyers are extremely important for families that maybe don't have access to the internet. There's still a huge, sector of the population that does not. But paper flyers, I know from my experience, they get taken down very often. They have to be approved by businesses to be put up. With the weather, you have to constantly replace them. And the most important thing that I think could come from the registry, and particularly a registry that might be online in the form of, let's say, an app that could be on your phone, is that, let's say you see one of the flyers, like what you mentioned on the Rogers Park website, and you see this person, maybe weeks later.
Right.
You're not really going to, in that instance, be able to quickly recall what you saw on the website, and at least not all the pertinent details. And I know from experience that you can certainly try to call the police department and be very vague, but generally you have to have a case number, you have to have at least some kind of close to spelling of their name, and you have to have, some very detailed facts that you will not remember just from seeing something at a Starbucks or online. So it needs to be accessed right away at your fingertips.
And on that note, with the new Chicago Missing Persons Registry that we're talking about,
Yes.
the improvement so that we can actually find these missing people, and work with the city and the people who really care, and the family and the friends and everyone else. Would there be a way, is there currently a way, on whatever there is out there, to send in tips, to call in sightings, to kind of find a way to help if you think you found somebody?
Right. And that's a very good question, because right now, at least, from what I've encountered, there are tips on specific cases. And they're usually very endangered person cases, usually children, or someone that has a very severe and profound, maybe mental illness or something where they are at medical need. But as far as your general person that becomes missing, there is not, a tip line assigned to every case, and I believe there should be, because if tips are called in when a detective is off, they're not followed up right away, and minutes make a difference, seconds make a difference.
Right. Well, I've got to say that there's some good news in all of this.
Yes.
Last
Yes.
week, you were here, and you said, if there's an Irishman out
Yes,
there, here's my number, give me a call. And people were wondering what the heck that
Right,
meant.
yes.
What it meant was, it was her friend who was missing, who was an Irishman, and tell us, how long have you been looking for him?
Thank you for clarifying that. And
Yeah.
yes, I gave my email online, which I still want to say that I do encourage people to email me. My name is Mandy Sark, S-A-R-K, and my email is Sark, S-A-R-K, Mandy, M-A-N-D-Y, @yahoo.com, but for political reasons. Or not political reasons, since I'm not a politician, but for activist reasons, for getting
Right.
involved in helping with this. As far as my friend, I learned about it over the summer, and so I had been working very hard to locate him with the police department and with other friends that we have, and we have that wonderful news that he has been found. And
There we go.
And so I apologize that is part of why I'm kind of jarbled versus last week, but it's a very,
Yeah.
a wonderful thing. And that was my attempt to reach out to him with my general Irishman comment with respecting his privacy.
That's great. And how long has he been missing?
Close to a year and a half.
And is this why you got involved with the Chicago Missing Person Registry?
Yes. And I think Robin was mentioned earlier with missing and homeless, have that in common in that such a horrible experience that no one should go through, and her mother even more so, because there's nothing like your mother, and trying to turn that pain into something positive for other people and trying to help others, because like with everything, I mean, it's not just putting things on paper, it's not just statistics or logging, we're not logging library books, we're logging humans.
Right.
And we need the funding to get this done. I really appreciate you having me here and Trudy
course.
having me here last week to encourage people. Please, if you agree with what I'm saying, or if you even want to research what I'm saying, I encourage you to do that and reach out to people in your area, aldermen, politicians, clergy, anyone. Get together your own petition, but help as you can.
Well, you have my support.
Thank you.
I will come to your press conferences. I will help you raise awareness. I will put you on the CAN TV whenever I can,
Yeah,
and
thank
any other kind of radio shows or internet online sharing.
Yes.
Anything I can do to help.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to put your email address on here, if you don't mind. If they want to contact you, I'm going to cover up your phone number, because you probably don't want that.
Great.
Okay, so I'm covering up her phone number with my card. But here she is, Mandy M. Sark, and there it is. There's her Yahoo. sarkmandy@yahoo.com.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
if you want to get involved in the movement, we're gonna do this and really try to find these missing people. I think it's wonderful work that you're doing, and I think it goes without a doubt. Even though you found your friend, which is the best news ever, you're going to continue to fight.
Right.
They're going to
Absolutely.
continue with the current team. We're going to build our team, and we're going to try to find the missing people.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and thank
you.
you as well.
Yes.
And thank you to Dave and my son. That is a call out.
And
'cause he's
thank
been
you
wonderful
to
help me.
thank you to everybody, and thank you to Trudy. Come on out, Trudy. This is Trudy Leong, and she's got the flyer. This is our yard sign, and this is our Trudy.
That's our Mandy.
Yeah. So I'm running for 49th Ward Committeeman. It's really important because the committeeman is in charge of the electoral process to make sure it's inclusive, welcoming, safe place where everybody can vote. The committeeman is also in charge of voter registration and getting out the vote, getting people who may want to sleep in to get to voting before work. Also in charge of the 49th Ward Democratic Party. And I've been looking at that office and doing YouTube Lives, and you can check out the YouTube Lives all over the place. Bill Morton 49.com.
And he has been a wonderful help to me, as well as Trudy has. And also Karen Phillips, who Karen Phillips is still looking for her daughter, Kiara Coles. Postal worker that is expecting, young lady, missing almost over a year now. So please Google her image and look out for her as well.
And she was at the press
She
conference
was at the press
too.
conference helping
We have to
us.
do another press conference soon. We have to continue to raise awareness and get this thing going
Yes,
for everybody.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. So thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, man.
Thank you very
And
much.
thank you
And
to
thank you all for watching.
everybody, and thank you to Catherine Brown D. Tycoon,
Absolutely.
who's been awesome.
Yes.
We work very well together, and I want to let her in on this missing person registry.
Great. And I would love to
I've got
connect with
got
her.
some people in mind. So you can give me a call at 773-850-0049. And actually I'll put it on one more time there overhead. That's 773-850-0049. If you want to get or contact Mandy at her Yahoo account, if you want to get involved in the missing persons registry, there's the information. Tell your friends and let's spread the word.
Yes.
This is D Tycoon Show, Community Unity Now, and thank you so much, Mandy.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yes, until next time.
Yes.
Have a good night,
bye-bye.
guys.